Hello everyone, today I will be doing a plastic surgery analysis on the members of Everglow. If you have any requests which group you want to see me analyze, please leave it in the comments. I think plastic surgery is neither bad or good, as celebrities has immense pressure to look as good as they possibly can, which can be helped by plastic surgery. I think it will be a healthier environment if celebrities in general are more open and honest about plastic surgery and cosmetic procedures that they've done, or at least not lie about it, so the general public can see that beauty is attainable through plastic surgery. I know there's a stigma around plastic surgery all around the world, but people need to realize that it's pretty common among celebrities, as it's demanded by society that celebrities look perfect, so we shouldn't blame them if they resort to plastic surgery. I want this video series to be a form of discussion between people who are interested in the possible procedures celebrities had, and break the negative sentiment around plastic surgery. I assume that many celebrities, including K-pop idols, have done some sort of cosmetic procedures because their occupation demands them to look as good as they possibly can. I may be totally wrong about this assumption, as I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. A few disclaimers before we begin. I'm not a plastic surgeon, nor have I gotten plastic surgery, so my knowledge in this area is limited. These are just my speculations and not facts. I have no idea about the member's medical history, and these are just my speculations, so you can respectfully disagree. This post is not meant to send hate to the members, as they are probably pressured by the industry to look as good as they possibly can. With that out of the way, let's get started. Starting with EU. EU used to be a cheerleader when she was younger, so we have a lot of pretty bit photos of her. But the pretty bit photos are limited to her when she's a cheerleader. She might have been old enough to get plastic surgery, so there may be possible procedures that I missed. The pretty bit photos are quite unclear, but I don't see too many changes to her face. She has always had big double eyelids and a tall nose. I believe she is natural, as I don't see possible signs of plastic surgery on her face. In conclusion, I think EU is natural. She has always been beautiful. I love her features. It makes her look a lot younger than she is, and I believe she will retain her baby face for a long time. I really love Everglow's rap line. I think they're one of the best female rappers in 4th gen. Moving on to Sihyeon. Sihyeon has a lot of adorable pre-debut selkas. She has always been beautiful. The pre-debut photos available looks like she was old enough to get plastic surgery, so I might miss some procedures. I think she looks quite different from her pre-debut photos. I couldn't quite put my finger on it at first, but now I think I see the changes to her buccal fat area. I think she got her buccal fat remover because her lower cheeks used to be more full, and now she lost a pretty significant volume on the lower part of her cheeks, and we can see more of her bone structure. This can totally just be due to her losing her baby fat, though I lean more towards partial buccal fat removal, as the change is pretty drastic. I also see some changes to her upper eyelids. I think she got some of the fat on the upper eyelids removed to make her eyelids look less puffy. This change is pretty subtle, so I'm not too convinced about this. Other than that, I don't see other changes to her face. In conclusion, I think Shihan got some of her buccal fat removed and upper blepharoplasty to remove the fat on her upper eyelids. The possible procedures were really well done in my opinion. I think the changes to her face are subtle, but change her face in a pretty significant way, and of course in a positive way. She looks amazing both pre-debut and now, just with a slightly different vibe. Moving on to Mia. Mia also has quite a lot of pre-debut photos. She has always been pretty, but some of her pre-debut photos available have filters on her face, which obstructs or change her facial features, and some photos are pretty unclear. She also looked old enough to get plastic surgery in some of her pre-debut photos, so I might miss some procedures. I personally suspected that Mia got a rhinoplasty, as there are clear straight lines on the sides of the bridge of the nose, and I think her nose looks to be overprojected for the proportions of her face. I don't really have proof of this though. This is purely speculation based on how her current nose looks and the signs of possible plastic surgery it manifests. I think there's also a possibility that Mia got some of her buccal fat removed, as the lower part of her cheeks look to be slimmer, though this can be due to losing her baby fat. There's also a possibility of her getting cheekbone reduction, as her current cheekbones when she smiles is a lot smaller compared to how it looks like during pre-debut. The last change I see is her upper eyelids. To me, it looks like her upper eyelids look less puffy. She likely got some of the fat or some skin on her upper eyelids removed. In conclusion, I think Mia got cheekbone reduction and rhinoplasty. There's also a possibility that she got upper blepharoplasty and some of her buccal fat removed. I think the possible procedures were really well done and enhanced her beauty nicely. She is such an amazing all-rounder with great stage presence. I can tell that she works extra hard to be as good as she is now. Moving on to Onda. Onda also has quite a lot of pre-debut photos. She has always been pretty. She looked old enough to get plastic surgery in her pre-debut photos, so I might miss some procedures. I love seeing her with black hair. I'm glad her hair is currently dark again. She should rest her scalp more. She has always had such a beautiful small face with big eyes and smile. I personally believe that she is natural. I don't see any changes to her face compared to her pre-debut photos. Her nose have always been slightly crooked, her eyes don't have a clear consistent crease line, and her eye shape is the same. Her face shape also remained the same. She might get some fillers to her face. In conclusion, I think Onda is natural, and there's a possibility that she gets some fillers to her face to make her face look less hollow. I love her stage presence. She truly has such a strong presence despite her lack of lines. I hope she can get more lines in center time in future Everglow comebacks. Moving on to Aisha. Aisha has quite a lot of free debut content. Because she has been a trainee for so long, I'm glad she can debut with Everglow. Her childhood photos that I found are pretty unclear, so the reliable free debut photos available looks like she was already old enough to get plastic surgery, so I might miss some procedures. The biggest change I see to her face are her lips. They look to be slightly plumper in some areas. Her lip size tend to fluctuate. This makes me think that sometimes she gets fillers to her top and bottom lips. I'm pretty unsure about her eyes. Her eyelids are a lot higher now. I think there's a possibility that she got suture double eyelid surgery, which is a non-incisional method that results in a more natural looking double eyelids. The change might be just caused by eyelid tape though. I do tend to lean more towards suture double eyelid surgery as the size of her eyelids are pretty consistent. I also suspect that she got a rhinoplasty. We can sometimes see a shape resembling a nose implant in some angles. Her nose tip is also longer now compared to her childhood photos. An L-shaped implant can cause the nose tip to look longer. Her chin also looks to be pointier now and more projected compared to her childhood photos. She might have gotten a chin implant to achieve this look. I have no proof of these though. This is just my speculation from how plastic surgery may present themselves on the face. In conclusion, I think Asher got double eyelid surgery, rhinoplasty, fillers to her top and bottom lips. There's also a possibility that she got a chin implant. Surgery or not, I think she looks amazing. I love her cool girl crush vibe paired with her amazing low tone rap. Last but not least, we have Yiren. Yiren has a lot of pre-read photos online. She has always been incredibly beautiful, and I don't see much changes to her face. There's a possibility that she got her inner eye corners cut to make it horizontally larger, as her current inner eye corners look sharper compared to her more rounded inner eye corners during pre-debut. I also think she got a chin implant to make her chin more projected. I think she gets regular Botox injections to her jaw muscle to make her jawline smaller too. In conclusion, I think Yiren got her inner eye corners cut, chin implant, and Botox injection to her jawline. She has always been intimidatingly beautiful. In my opinion, she's one of the prettiest faces in K-pop. I love her facial expressions when she's performing. She was born to be a center. I hope anyone watching this takes this post in a positive way and realize that plastic surgery is not a bad thing. We need to understand that K-pop idols and other celebrities have a lot of pressure to look good, and it's not a bad thing if they resort to plastic surgery, as it is demanded by society. Everglow is one of my favorite girl groups, and they just recently celebrated their third anniversary. I hope they can stay together for a long time. As I stated in the beginning, this is not meant for fuel to send hate towards the members. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.